Welcome back to Black Swan Outdoors, and today we are going to talk about the MS-2000 strobe. This is a military strobe. It happens to be a particularly cool device with lots of different features in it. You don't see a lot of videos or conversations about the strobe. I'm doing a series on survival communications, and we talk about how to communicate with heliographs, fire, radios, all these different means of communications, and of course one of those things is a strobe. When we talk about evasion techniques, or we talk about traveling in non-permissive environments, perhaps one of the best pieces of advice, or the things that you should never do whether you're military or not, is to travel with military gear or table allowance items. And if there was going to be an exception to that rule, this device would be it. I would think that this is probably one of the handiest devices that one could use in an emergency, because it has so many different functions and uses. So we'll talk a little bit about the features. The main thing about this strobe, or some of the main features about the strobe, is that it has this little level here, and the on and off switch is designed so that it can be turned on and off with gloves, but it's not going to actually accidentally turn on if it's going to be in your pack. So that's going to save a ton of batteries. It's going to keep you safe when you don't want this thing flashing. So you just slide this forward, and with the cover off, you get a white light that flashes. I think it's 60 seconds or 60 flashes per second. Now, we do have a cover. This is an IR cover, so when that cover is on, you don't see the white light flashing, but you can see the infrared flashing in here because I'm shooting this with my phone. Now, the other cover, which is interesting, is this one here, which is called the blue collimator. The collimator here makes the light shine in a blue color. What the collimator does is it narrows that beam, and so that actually sends the light out farther than just having straight white light that's kind of more, I guess, diffused across the area. This is kind of shoots that white light, or that light forward. The other thing that the blue covering does is it changes the color of the flashing so it doesn't look like muzzle flashes. So if you're trying to signal, say, air support, or someone coming from above who is seeing this as a soldier would, it might be hard to differentiate a muzzle flash from a strobe. So you have this blue feature. The other nice thing about the blue feature is that it reduces your visibility as well. So you might want to signal with somebody, but not have a particular person, but not everybody. And then lastly, of course, if you change the color, that color could have a particular meaning to it. So you could be sending a signal of some sort, or a message of some sort. So you're reducing visibility, you have a message, you have essentially a binary message, if you think about it in terms of white light and blue light, that you have. So very, very easy to operate. Great practical features. Most helicopter pilots these days have IR. So even if you're lost out in the woods and the search and rescue is coming, they're sending out a quadcopter that has IR capability. Helicopters, as I said before, have IR capability, and it's becoming more and more accessible on the market and more popular. So I think that's a worthy feature on here. If you were caught out in the wilderness, you would certainly use this to signal for help. And if you were in a urban environment, say a natural disaster of some kind, you could certainly use this as well by flashing a signal out of your hotel room, or even getting to the roof of that hotel say somebody is coming to meet you or to get you out of country, provide medical aid, whatever it is, that you'd be able to signal for help and let them know exactly where you're at by using this strobe. And then, of course, for helicopter. We often don't think about helicopter in terms of emergencies, but we use them quite a bit for serious roadside accidents to search and rescue out in the woods, in the wilderness. They're quite frequently used. They're just terribly expensive. So this is the strobe, the MS-2000. Very, very handy thing to have for the urban or wilderness environment. I carry it with me for when I'm traveling in non-permissive environments, and have it with me in my car at all times because it makes for a great safety strobe or safety flasher to let other drivers know if my car is broken down or if I'm on the side of the road. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I'll put some clips of what this looks like at night at the end of this video.